Okay, I find it very difficult to create intros for videos that are very serious in nature, and I'll just get to the point. Number one question that came up was, did you ever go into any Diddy parties? Now, quick answer, no. Long answer, I like to have fun and poke fun at people that ask me that question, because I truly, as a humble human being, don't understand the connection or correlation whatsoever. Why would little old me be at a Diddy party? I don't understand how that would correlate. I also joked that my parties don't require allegedly drugging people either.
Sex and drugs party.
When you really enjoy consensual adult relations, that it shouldn't be needed.
Engaged in consensual activities.
Yeah, a lot of people say, but Hollywood. Yeah, I've lived in LA half my life. I do get it. I like to poke fun at you guys. I do get it. There is a huge crossover between young, desirable women and celebrities. It doesn't matter the background, right? Or wealthy people in general, powerful people in general.
Rich people, powerful people.
I've just never been in that lane. I've never hooked up with people for clout. I've been offered to hook up with people for clout.
You want to hook up?
I've been offered to have fake relationships. Okay. I've been asked to be photographed with people and accidentally run into paparazzi. So yeah, I get it. It was about the assumption as to why I would be invited to parties like this. I never try to make my way into those types of situations because I just have never lived my life that way. That's not who I am. And it's really easy to assume that somebody from my former industry would find their way at a place like this. But most celebrities or people in the Hollywood side of the industry aren't looking for anything of substance if they just come out only wanting to invite you into specific situations. So I've always avoided those situations. Doesn't mean people don't try, but it means that I've never sought that out because it doesn't fit little humble old me, right? That's just never been my vibe. But no, the short answer is no. Never been to a Diddy party. That's not how I roll.
Mystery solved.
The thing I hate about this type of news is that it does so much damage to people that consensually participate in. I'm trying not to get YouTube banned or YouTube demonetized. I completely empathize with all victims involved. And on the other hand, the sensationalization of it makes me really angry because it negatively affects people, adults, that like to have consensual freak-offs.
Are we both consenting adults?
That means people who are there because they want to be there and have freak-offs, and it's all good.
This is great.
People like this ruin it for the good people. As somebody who's suffered a lot of stigma and who's often having to come off defensively, it makes me so upset when news comes out like this. Because then people generalize and think that, well, anybody who is not in a monogamous situation must be doing bad things to people.
Most of them think monogamy is some kind of wood.
They must be a predator, and that couldn't be further from the truth. There is a lot going on. This is just the tip of the iceberg. The other aspect of this is again, back to sensationalizing these things. I think it's really ignorant to just assume that because he had so much influence that any other celebrity or person of influence or great wealth that was ever photographed with him must also be just as bad as he is and had knowledge of the things he was doing.
I had no idea.
You know how many pictures I've taken with people that I've met once and have never seen again? So to automatically categorize other people that have been around him is just ignorant. And it plays into this sensationalism, which I really hate. And it helps nobody. It doesn't help the victims. It doesn't prevent things like this from happening again in the future. Did you watch the Marlon Wayans clip?
I left early. I swear to you, I've never seen
He just knew, he's like, I'll go to the party, but at a certain point I leave. And I think that's that's a great like mini insight to show that he didn't want to stay for the after, but it didn't mean that he knew people were being abused. It doesn't imply his inside knowledge. Inside knowledge to what, like sex and drugs? It doesn't imply inside knowledge to abuse, so he didn't want to stay for baby oil time. Let's read this. This article just came out today. Sean Diddy Combs accused of SA in 6 new lawsuits, including a 16-year-old boy. 6 lawsuits. Sean Diddy Combs is currently in jail after being charged last month with racketeering and sex trafficking. His lawyer previously said he denies any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. It accuses him of raping women, assaulting men, and the boy. All were filed anonymously, 2 by women identified as Jane Does and 4 by men identified as John Does. It comes after lawyer Tony Busby announced on October 1st that he was representing 120 accusers and will be filing their lawsuits against the hip-hop mogul over the coming weeks. 120. Woo! One of the John Does in the newly filed lawsuits, a man living in North Carolina, claims Combs him when he was 16 at one of the rapper's famous white parties in Long Island's Hamptons in 1998. The man alleges the assault occurred during a conversation about how to become a music star. Combs is alleged to have said, "Don't you want to break into the business?" If you are a victim currently and you are listening to this, the best advice that I can give you is to document as much as you can about your current situation and hide it from the person that is hurting you. Make sure you have no trackers on your phones, your laptops, any electronic device that you might use. That includes settings within your email accounts, your maps on your phones. Change the passwords to your phones and your emails. And if you feel like you're in a situation where they're going to hurt you further because they know you changed your passwords, immediately create burner accounts that they have no knowledge of and store all of your information there, and find somebody whom you can share this information with. If you are too ashamed to share it with a friend or family member, I encourage you to share it with a more neutral third party, and that can be your local sexual assault hotline, which, by the way, if you do need help, is 1-800-330-0226, 1-800-330-0226. But it's really important to document these things. And when you're in the midst of things like this, that can feel impossible. But the more information that you can have to eventually get yourself out of your current situation, the better it will be for you in the long run. Heard me talk about Soft White Underbelly a lot. I'm a big fan. His interviews never come off as condescending or dehumanizing. Yeah, we're gonna watch this. It's a video called My Night at P. Diddy's Freak Off.
Scandal.
And they didn't believe me. I seen P. Diddy or whatever, and I seen him with the Prince doing something real. That's all I'm gonna say. They were dressed up like little Harajuku Barbies.
Like what?
Little people, okay? We're not gonna say what type of little people. Like, what are they doing here? Like, dressed up, little red lipstick, like, they weren't supposed to be there. Party at 7 o'clock in the morning with grown people. Like, why would they be here? So I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, but then when I'm looking in this corner.
Is she implying that there were kids there? Because at first I thought she was talking about little people. And now when she said they're not supposed to be there, it makes it that sounds like children. I think it's very brave of her to speak out. I think we can see that there's a whole lot more she wants to talk about, but doesn't quite feel safe to do so yet. And I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up, being part of some of these investigations that are going on. And I understand how for her and any of the alleged victims, it can be incredibly scary because of the company he's kept. It can be scary to tell your story. So good for her for being able to feel a little bit more comfortable getting there and speaking out. I mean, none of us know what's going to happen next with all of this news. Do I think he'll be made an example of? And a lot of co-conspirators could get away with things? Absolutely, yes, because history has taught us that